So friends, as a young man in the United States during my early years, when I went to school, I always got into situation. There was a situation where the dirtiest kids in school that nobody wanted to be around, okay? Nobody cared. Today, nobody liked them. Tomorrow, everybody liked them and respect them. And how do they do that? They went around punking an African kids. So a person might go and push an African kid on the hallway. The next thing you look, he punched the African kid, okay? Maybe kicked him or so, and then the fight is squashed by the teacher. And that kid becomes popular in the school. He becomes known as the kid who beat up that African kid. And just like that, he was getting notoriety. In my early times in the United States, or during my early years in the United States, I saw immigrants being disrespected. African Americans disrespecting all other black immigrants. In the Caribbean, the rest of the islands were never regarded. However, despite all the situation, African Americans seem to have respect for Jamaicans. They never messed with Jamaicans. The Jamaicans were respected. As a result, us Africans, especially when our accents began to change, we basically began lying that we were Jamaicans. And when we did that, we began to get respect from our African American counterparts. However, Haiti and the Haitians were the only blacks in the Caribbean who were just flat out disrespected. They were on the same level in terms of the disrespect that they received from black Americans and from the American culture, on the same level as the Africans. The Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, those Cans, those Latinos, the Amazonians or whatsoever, the women were sexualized. The men were seen as fine by the black American women, but Africans, we get no respect, we get no notoriety. Everything about us was uncool. It was so bad in my early years in the United States that even Africans who came earlier than us, those who came when they were younger, who've adopted the black American culture or the American culture, they will act like they know nothing about Africa. They never want anything to do with Africa because relating to Africa means that they are not cool, okay? Now, in retrospect, the way the United States, the Western media portrayed or projected Africa to the Americans, naked people, civil war, huts, and all kinds of nonsense. In retrospect, it makes sense that African Americans, when they try to distance themselves from Africa, it makes sense. I wouldn't fault them for that. Because even us Africans, because we were so much disrespected that we were telling people that we were not Africans, we were Jamaicans. And that's how we were getting respect.